Pre-game coverage starts now on Zaleski Sports, the 2024 eight-player All-Star Game coming up tonight, and we are visiting with South head coach Corey Rickert. Coach, before we get into the X's and O's, of course, this game is intended to raise money and do some good things, all for Children's Wisconsin. Your team has raised over $31,000 overall. We are 97% of the $400,000 goal, so a fantastic response. And of course, still time for people tonight and in the future to raise money for Children's. But talk about that work and kind of the other meaning of this game.
Yeah, that's the best part of it all. We tell the guys when we meet them early on in March and tell them about the game. We always mention that you have for the next couple months it has nothing to do with you. This is all about Children's Hospital and the good things that we have going with that. We're fortunate to meet the families, which is a great experience for these kids as the players. I mean, to be able to see what their money and their work went to. My team this year, or the South team, is phenomenal. I didn't have to. I've been fortunate to be a part of this game several times, and I've never had to. This is the first time I didn't have to do any kind of bugging and begging and say, guys, what are you doing? They did it. They jumped on it right away. We have some huge numbers, guys with some great donations. It's phenomenal. And you know, that's the best part of all of this.
As we get ready for tonight's game, you mentioned you've been a part of a few of these before, and for a coach, it's the most difficult part, trying to get ready. During the regular season, you can scout an opponent, you can game plan for an opponent. On the other side, sure, you know some of the guys, and you know Coach Stokes, but how do you go about trying to putting together a game plan for an all-star game?
It's not easy. You hopefully you make some good choices with other coaches that you have on your staff. You hope to have a little bit of film here and there. This year that really hasn't happened, so that hasn't been lucky for us. You find out those that are good friends during a year, you end up nope, sorry, you're on the other side now, not going to give you any information. And so that makes it interesting. It's a much different kind of stress. It's a fun stress, but indeed it is one, because at the bare bones of it all, we're all competitive. We want to make sure we have everything well, and you only have a couple days to get these guys together. But it's always amazed me what the kids do. It's always amazed me how they just gel, and they figure things out on their own. So they make, if we look good, it has nothing to do with me. So it's a lot of, it's great. You know,
Let's talk about the three aspects of your team. I'll ask you individually. First, on the offensive side, what should folks expect offensively from your ball club tonight?
we have some guys that can throw the ball, catch the ball. We have some big boys. Offensively, we are looking to actually do it all if we could. We have the ability to go deep if we're hitting it. So far this week, we've had times where we were nailing it. Other times this week, no, not really. We have the ability to pound the ball. And so we're hoping to be very balanced for the most part, but hopefully keep the North off their toes a little bit, or on their toes a little bit, because we have the ability to do several different things, and hopefully from different kinds of packages.
A lot of coaches sometimes prefer to coach a defense because you can teach the keys, you can, assignment, gap control, that kind of thing. Tell us about your defensive effort tonight.
And that's my side of the ball right there. I've always said, let the guys that are a lot smarter than me take care of offense. So I enjoy the defensive side. With certain rules, you're not supposed to blitz. So it's basically, it feeds into what I normally do during the year. And it's just let my athletes be athletes. And these are athletes. So for us, we're gonna try to just match up. We're gonna try to make life difficult on the outside. um, and see if some of our big boys up front can get in and create a little bit of noise.
And then, of course, special teams, punt, kick return, those kind of things. These guys are all stars. They're there for a reason. Has that been easier to coach with this group?
Um, you get everybody, nothing changes in a high school kid. All of the 250 to 300 pounders think they can catch the punts, and all of the 120s think that they can snap them. But it's amazing. We have a lot of choices. We have the ability to there's some guys that I'm guessing are going to play special teams that didn't take a rep at all this week. We have that's the great part of it. A lot of them got to do that on their teams throughout the year. That's the great thing about it, and when you go to college and pros, you're not seeing your number one receiver catching punts or anything like that. All these guys, they're not used to getting off the field. So one thing I've noticed is some guys who aren't touching the ball nearly as much as they're used to, when they get one in rep or get a rep in practice, it's amazing what they do with it. So I'm excited to see what happens on all three levels tomorrow.
There was a time in my life a number of years ago, I assume coach he thought my name was stay in your lane, because that's all he would yell at me is stay in your lane. Oakfield, your school team, you've got three guys that represent Oakfield here tonight. What are your expectations of them? Have they been able to make it easier for you this week?
Yeah, they're on my side of the ball. That helps. Those guys have been, as a teacher, I've been around them for 8 years. So it's a special night for me. And they make things easier. They're communicators. When I'm not on the field, they're telling everybody what I'm thinking because they know it. They were fortunate that the class ahead of them only had 2 players, I think, throughout their 4 years. So they've played a lot of football, and they know what I'm thinking. It's a special night, especially for me.
Lastly, as we wrap up with Coach Corey Rickert, as we get ready for tonight's 8-player All-Star game, the North team has had their way on the football field the last couple of years, including a running clock situation last year. So tell us about that, and what is your message to the guys as you take the field tonight?
We know it's an exhibition, but none of those players, none of those coaches on there want to lose. I've been a part. This is my 5th game. Been a part of 3 losses and 1 win, and we've let them know. And actually, our offensive coordinator Jared Gussie was on the staff last year, so he reminded us, and those that were watching the game reminded us how it went. There's pride. We believe that this might be a year we can match up and play well, but history, sometimes history is history. So we're hoping to keep it history and start a new tradition. But on the other side, there are a lot of great players, and I know there are a lot of great coaches over there too, wanting to do the same thing. So, just excited to see what happens.
Al Davis once said, "Just win, baby." Coach, good luck tonight.
Thank you so much.